Cynthia Rothrock, also known as a Queen of Martial Arts, holds black belt rankings in 7 styles of martial arts and has been in over 60 movies. One of her most famous movies is Yes Madam, which we will be seeing at the Astor Theatre today, where Cynthia herself will be joining us for fan photos and a Q&A session. So before we get into the video, I would like to say a huge thank you to everyone involved at the Astor for making this possible, and of course to Cynthia herself for coming to visit us in Melbourne. Here's to the many more amazing events to come. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any photos or videos of this, but after Cynthia and I took the photo together, she complimented my hair, and of course I complimented hers back because she looks amazing. She also told me that she'd go for a more bizarre colour, but she can't at the moment because she's filming a movie. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the movie, and I'm really grateful I got to meet her today. So here's to many more awesome Astor events in the future.
It's my absolute pleasure to welcome to the stage none other than Cynthia Rothrock. To the moment when you first knew that martial arts was something that you wanted to devote your life to. When did you first encounter the concept?
I think I was training Tuxedo, and I was training for five and a half months. I was an orange belt, the first belt that you get in Tuxedo. And my teacher put me in a competition, and I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, I've never competed in front of people. And at that time, you know, we're talking like the late 70s, they didn't have like beginners, intermediate, advanced. They had all women. So it was white belt to grandmasters. Whoever, you know, was competing was in this one division. A black belt took first, a black belt took third, and I took second. And I beat all these black belts, and I thought, oh my God, I've only been studying 5.5 months. I'm going to really train hard, and my goal is I'm going to be the best there is. And that, I think, was the first moment that I dedicated like so much to training, you know, every single day.
And how did that lead to roles in films?
I was on the West Coast demonstration team, which was a famous competition team in the United States, and the performers on it were phenomenal martial artists, and they were called from Inside Kung Fu magazine, and they said there's a Hong Kong director, and he's here looking for a new Bruce Lee, and bring all your guys down. And Ernie said, should we bring the girls? And they're like, yeah, you can bring the girls, but they're really looking for a guy. So we went down to Los Angeles. It was at Heel Cho's school, and Corey Yuen was there, who's a famous director that's directed like Transporter. He did choreography from Matrix. One of my, actually he directed Yes Madam, you know, this movie you're going to see tonight. And I did some form, I did fighting, I did self-defense, I did some weapons, and Corey Yuen said, I want the girl. So that's, they signed me up, and in 1985 I went to Hong Kong and did my first movie with Michelle Yeoh, which is Yes Madam.
I mean, and then they say the rest was history. In the film world, who did you aspire to, or even in the martial arts world?
Yeah, my hero when I was little, and I still love him, is Jackie Chan, because he was the first person. The first Hong Kong movie I ever saw was his movie Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, and I was watching that, and I was like, oh my God, I love the movements of the snake, and I would go home and practice the things I've seen him do on film. And it was like really funny, because when I went to Hong Kong, it's like, it was my birthday, and they're like, oh, okay, Jackie Chan is going to come up, he's going to sing for you for your birthday. And I'm like so nervous, you know, oh my God, my idol's coming. And there must have been about like 30 people in this little room, and they're all waiting for Jackie to come. And at this time, he didn't speak English well. And he comes in, and they bring out the karaoke machine, and he starts singing a child's nursery rhyme. And I don't know if you know the Three Blind Mice, like Three Blind Mice, and he's singing it, and I'm like sitting there going, is this a joke? Should I laugh? What's going on? And everybody's looking like it's Pavarotti singing, like, oh my God. And then they got done, and they were all clapping so loud. And then later, I realized, because it was an easy song to sing in English, but at first I was like, it's like a candid camera or something, like, what am I supposed to be doing here? And then I was like, Jackie Chan sang Three Blind Mice to me.
Well, you mentioned trailblazing, and that was something that I wanted to talk to you about. You're obviously a pioneering figure in the action genre when it comes to female representation on screen. How was that experience to break through that male-dominated genre when you began? And also, how do you feel that has had ramifications for future performers who you've inspired?
Yeah, you know, it was interesting because when I started martial arts, I never really thought, oh, I'm a girl, I can't do this. You know, I always said, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a man or female, as long as you do the technique right, you're going to be able to defend yourself. So I kind of grew up in this world, like, you know, I never thought of inferior. I was always an equal, you know, and I was treated that way because that's, you know, how I walked that line. It's like, you know, yeah, we're all equals. And in 1982, I had to compete against the men in North America for weapons, and I was the first woman to win the #1 for the whole year against all the men, you know. And it was really tough because I felt like I couldn't be just good. I had to be phenomenally good, you know, so I would work like really, really hard. And you know, then I started doing movies, and after the Hong Kong ones, I come to America, and it's like, okay, yeah, well, you can fight, but we're going to get the guy to come and save you in the end. Until finally, I did a movie, Sword to Justice in America, that was a female lead, and it did really, really well, you know, so it's kind of opened the door, I feel, for a lot of women to get involved in action films. Get on it, and please continue to support, watch my films. There's a lot of them that's going to be coming out now.
Thank you so much.